Thank you for joining us on Trauma Cupcakes.
How's everybody doing?
Oh, I think we're all trying to beat the heat.
Oh God, we're up here in Canada and it's hot. We got to like 35 degrees Celsius, which is
Yeah, what's that in freedom units?
freedom units. I'm going to actually check because I'm like, there's this shortcut, but I always forget it. 95.
Oof.
Yeah, so we got.
That's so hot.
Yeah, it's hot for us. I mean, for the fact that we don't have AC, right?
We don't have. They don't install that in houses down here in Washington.
Yeah, you go through the same thing too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't even want to complain on any social media because I'll have everybody from Texas be like, "Oh, that's nothing. It's blah blah blah," and I'll get salty and be like, "Yeah, how did you guys handle winter that last time?"
Well, we did the same thing. My wife's grandfather, she was telling me, he was like, it's so hot down here in Arizona. The cactuses are melting again. The roads are melting. The plastic on the bumpers are melting. And she's like, yeah, it's like 100 here. And he was like, what? What? It gets 100? He goes, I didn't know it got over 80. That up there. He was so like taken back.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, no, it believe it or not, gets hot. It's fucking hot. I don't know how many days you guys have had to deal with 100 degrees, but I think we had it for like 3 days in a row, which was just like, oof.
Yeah, we're reaching that 3-day mark now.
Mm-hmm. But it seems
we got lucky. Today was it broke. We're back down in like 90 as a norm, and then it's like 74 right now at 9:30.
Oh, that sounds good.
Oh, there's a nice breeze.
Oh.
Yeah, we got no wind or breeze of any kind. It's just really moist,
Yes.
hot air. And we're like, it's got to have a thunderstorm coming.
Oh, that must be nice.
You can smell it in the air, but there's no sign of anything. There's no clouds, no breeze coming in with it. It's just sucking the moisture out of everything on the ground.
Unless we're just delusional and we're like hoping.
Yeah.
That's interesting that you mentioned having a thunderstorm. We don't get thunderstorms here. We've maybe one in the 11 years we've lived here.
We recently got one that I was actually quite proud of. Nothing like what I'm used to in Texas, but it was decent. Like there were a few bangs that you're like, oh, that kind of makes you jump in your chair. But
That's
yeah.
crazy. Mm-hmm. I miss them. I love them. I grew up, obviously growing up in PA, we had a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then Texas, we're in like the boonies of Sherman, Texas. We had a few good ones.
Yeah.
I miss them. I love it. I love that smell of like a thunderstorm rolling in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and then when it hits the grass, I don't know.
I know that you say the grass, but I was gonna say the asphalt. There's nothing better than just the wet asphalt smell.
It's just that earthy. I just like to smell with
Such a good smell. Such a good.
But right now we're not happy campers, and I don't know if this is a cycle because people are like, oh, it's just a cycle. But we broke records on Monday for the most heat, right? So
for the year or for the month?
For history.
History. Okay.
Yeah.
So y'all are in bad beats for.
And I don't know what it is about it. Reliker explained it to me once about why the heat here feels like you were saying. He was walking outside in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like. Go ahead.
Sorry, like air pressure and the UV plays a big part of it too.
Mm-hmm.
And the UV will impact the ground and objects and start heating them up.
Oh, okay.
Where in Texas, where there was very low UV, but very high ambient temperature, it has to just interact with the ambient environment to heat up.
Mm-hmm.
Where here, the UV is so intense it heats the object up directly.
Mhm.
So you can roast in your car very, very fast.
Does it have something to do with the elevation as well?
Yes.
I remember being in Texas and being able to stare up at the sky and be like, "Oh, that's way up there." But
Yeah. Here the clouds feel so much lower.
yeah, and there are times when we have these fog, the fog, and it's like we're in the clouds.
Yeah.
Right? So I wonder if that has something to do with it.
And I've gone for walks where it's 110 degree Fahrenheit.
Mhm.
And it's hot, but it's quite comfortable because the UV is so low.
In Texas.
In Texas, yeah. And people thought I was crazy. And I loved the weather because it was so nice. But then when you come up here, it's like 80 degrees, but the UV is high, and I can't even spend 5 minutes out there. It's just roasting.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me think too of like I know you guys haven't been there, but Nebraska, their heat, it's the worst place I've ever lived. Just because like in Arizona, it's a dry heat, right? I can deal with that, whatever. But Texas or Nebraska, it's so fucking humid.
Ugh.
It just sticks to everything.
Yeah.
You know? It's the worst. It's the worst type of heat. I don't know how they deal with that there. And especially when me and my wife were living there. She had never experienced that type of heat before. Oh my god, she was miserable.
That's like the clothes clinging onto you type of...
Yeah, everything. Yeah, she'd never experienced it because she grew up in Arizona where it's just a dry heat. So she was just like, what is this? This is horrible. I'm like, yeah, this is humidity. It's like 150% humidity. It's atrocious. And now we live with like 20 to 40 and it's like, oh no, this is bad.
So
Got spoiled.
Do you both believe that there could be something to deal with Nick? Well, do you think climate change has anything to do with it?
Oh yeah, it has.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you've lived long enough and you've paid attention, you will notice the weather patterns changing. Like, we used to get snow November to December. Now we get snow January to February.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so and then the summers, they would last June to July, and now it's not the same every year, right? Like there's some give and take, but it's definitely like it sometimes will last up until October for us, and into the summer where it used to not. So the October would turn into a rainy season or snow, and now it's pretty consecutively just still warm.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely got something to do with stuff melting and all that. I'm sure it also the Earth's core is slowing down. I believe. I'm not sure if that would affect the global warming in any way, but I heard that that's a thing. The Earth's core is slowing down.
I don't know. I never really thought of it. But yeah, you can definitely tell the difference from like when we were kids to now. A lot of things have changed. Temperatures have increased. Weather patterns are definitely a lot different. I remember as a kid, there would be 3 to 6 really crazy thunderstorms that would knock the power out every month through summer.
Yeah.
So by the time your summer was done, you were like 20 or 30 thunderstorms. Sometimes they caused grass fires, heavy flooding sometimes, and it was just kind of a normal thing. Now it's almost non-existent. We'd have a couple really heavy downpours, which you'd expect thunder and lightning, and have nothing.
I've always heard it has to do with we do go through cycles, but it's also climate change has something to do with how fast the Earth is able to adapt to those cycles. So we kind of exacerbate the cycle to where it happens faster. So the Earth doesn't have enough time to go through the change. Does that
and then too, like, we get a lot of wind from the north and the west.
Yeah.
And it'll pass down through our area and then down through into the United States and to the East Coast. Our weather for those winds come from Russia. And theirs comes from the Middle East. So if they fuck with the weather over there, it pushes all of the other weather leading straight through all the other countries that the weather would normally pass through, and it changes it. If they force the weather that would usually just pass through and, deposit rain, 1,000 kilometers or more down, and then they put the stuff in the air to make it rain here, that other place isn't going to get the rain. That's going to cause a drought.
True.
And then that's going to start pulling moisture from the air in other places, and the winds are going to change, and then you're going to have tornadoes and stuff trying to compensate for that.
Well, since it's been so hot, I imagine none of us are really spending that much time outside, so we've got to be probably gaming on the inside. So what has everybody been up to? I'm not going out. And I know Ralliker's not going out because he's my alabaster baby. So what have you guys been up to?
I've actually been outside, but not through my own choice of my own. But when I do get the time to be inside, I've been playing the First Descendant like crazy.
Yeah?
I don't know what it is, but this game is just like hit something for me, and I'm really enjoying it, even though I know it's garbage.
I mean, I was about to say, you and Ralliker played it for a little bit, and you guys kept on playing it, even though you guys had something snarky to say about it. So it must be enjoyable, right? It's like a B movie. You know it's cheesy and bad, but you gotta watch it.
Yeah, it's like an 80s action film. You're like, this is so cringe, but I'm having a good time.
Like Steven Seagal's cringe, or like...
No, like over the top with Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, okay. That's good.
that movie's cringy as all hell, but you're like, man, I'm having a good time here. I shouldn't be having a good time, but I am.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's Destiny meets Warframe meets Division if they had this weird South Korean developer baby.
Yeah.
And it's like, does it steal a lot of ideas from all three of those? A ton. I mean, it uses some UI symbols that are literally just ripped from Destiny. Like, it's not even funny. Yeah. It's exactly the same icon. They do the realistic, real-time, upgrades and all that stuff, so you need to wait real-time. Like, my trophy will take me 10 real-life days to get because of the time it takes to make the items. But I'm liking it. I'm just enjoying it.
That's kind of torturous, though, having to wait the 10 days.
It's live service. Yeah, but I got to grind the materials out anyways every day, so I can make one a day. And because of the fact that it's a huge upgrade every day, I'm getting a little bit of dopamine, getting my character stronger every day.
That's true. It's kind of like dishes out the dopamine every single day that you work towards that goal, right?
But it's not like immediate dopamine either. Like, I have to work for it. So I like that long-term release dopamine, even if it is a 24-hour release. But I'm enjoying it. I play Ajax, the Voided Descendant. He was lost in the void and somehow survived and made it out. He's like the tanky guy.
Is he the one that looks like a bull?
Yeah. He's one of the 3 starter characters.
Okay.
As I like to explain it, all 3 of the starter characters fit a different kink, even though they're all horny. Like, the girl is horny because she has her boobs out. The guy is horny because he's, like, twinkish. And then my guy is literally horny.
Because he's got, like, horns. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm having a great time. What did you think of it, Ralph?
For the general design of it, yeah, it's entertaining. The AI is pretty sad. You'll run into a lot of mobs just doing circles.
Uh-huh.
And it's entertaining to try and get a headshot on them when they're spinning in circles. But at the same time, you kind of wish there was a little bit more...
Is that more of a mercy kill?
Yeah. You want them to engage you a little more, to be interactive.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed a lot of the missions are really just repeats of what you did in the last zone.
Yes.
And sometimes that's nice, because you know what to expect.
Yeah.
So they'll ask you, like, for a battery to unlock something, and you're like, oh, I know this quest, and you can just kind of run to the checkpoints real quick, get them, and go, and you're done. And you're like, cool, give me my loot. And one of the things I thought was nice on the system was when you do a mission, all of the loot chances of what you could get are on there.
Okay.
it'll tell you that this has a 1% chance of dropping for you. So if you really, really want that, you just spam that mission over and over and over until you get it.
So there's a chance for you.
There's
That's
always
big.
a chance. And I know what I'm going
Religer.
after each time, which is nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's huge to know, like, oh, this is 20%. I also just want to clarify here, Ralliker is playing this on PC and has had multiple crashes.
Yes.
Unsure if it's on his end or the game's end. However, I've run it on PC and I've had some real dog water problems, like stuttering and stuff. Playing it on PS5 has worked like a charm. Like an absolute, just everything's smooth, buttery smooth.
Yeah. They probably built it for the PlayStation.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's almost getting to that point where we're going to have to stop pinching pennies and get a PS5.
Yeah.
What have you playing, Sal?
Well, I recently picked up Dredge, which is...
Not Judge Dredd.
Yeah, not Dread, but Dredge, like dredging from the ocean, which is kind of in the same universe as Dave the Diver. So I got kind of excited about that, and I did it. But it's a completely different feel. I was not expecting it. I mean, I read the description, but I thought, oh, it's going to be like lighthearted kind of a thing. But it's like Lovecraftian. If you have a fear of the ocean, I would suggest not playing it because you basically get to go fishing in different waters, and before you know it, it gets dark, and you're supposed to be back at the dock your boat for that evening because crazy stuff happens and it elevates, and before you know it, you're getting chased by something, and then you find yourself lost in the middle of the ocean, but you see shadows underneath trying to come up. It was a blast though. It's just completely different from Dave the Diver. So I'm gonna have to go back to Dave the Diver because it's a lot more my jam, where it's a little bit more lighthearted. But if you're into the Lovecraftian, apocalypse, Cthulhu kind of Kraken type tales that are tied to being on the ocean and stuff like that, this is a really cool kind of eerie game. Not dark, I would say completely, but eerie, where you never feel quite safe.
The ocean at night makes you feel uncomfortable.
And there's like crazy NPCs that are not all there, and you're in situations where you're like, am I doing something good or bad? You know?
And what I thought was interesting is, from watching you play, there were times that you could see boats off in the distance sailing around, and of course your curiosity goes, oh, what are they doing here at night? But then you approach the boats, and you realize that they're not boats. They are eyes or lights of something off in the water,
Mm-hmm.
kind of luring you out there.
Yeah, that like an anglerfish, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, like
Yeah.
Kingfisher stuff.
yeah.
And then you see the big shadows under the water as you're passing over, and you feel like it's too late already, and you just start booking it somewhere.
But what the game really excelled at is I usually like playing games where I know if I'm being good or bad. And I know that sounds really like I'm trying to be a good girl or whatever, where I play like a paladin who tries to, live by the code and be, lawful good or whatever, or be evil, right? Which is more John's jam.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I remember his dark side character on Knights of, Star Wars Online. But this game, you really don't know if you're doing something good. The person might be nice to you, but you don't know if you should help this person. And that messes with me morally. Because I'm like, now the truth is going to come up. Am I really a bad person trying to act good or what? So I've been having a lot of fun with it. That's what I've been doing during this heat.
We're just going to call back real quick to the fact that you said Cthulhu. Because I say Cthulhu. Is it Cthulhu?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Well,
Because
Hold
I'm pretty
on
much
one-
illiterate as all hell, so I
No, I've
don't know.
I've heard people say it
I've heard
Both?
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu kind of sounds nice. Cthulhu sounds like it might eat my soul. So
Yeah.
Pronunciation. And watch people. Yeah, Cthulhu. And then there's another one. What? And another person says the C is silent, as in phonic.
Cthulhu.
No, come on, Cthulhu.
Cthulhu.
Okay, anybody out there, please correct us. Do you say Cthulhu, Cthulhu, or apparently you're supposed to call it Cthulhu?
Cthulhu.
There's
Like Mike Tyson. Cthulhu.
apparently there's a word called phonic, which is spelled Cthonic, and you don't say the C in the front, so you call it phonic. But I don't know. I feel like that C is important.
Well, since you made me think of D&D stuff, you guys want a would you rather?
Sure. Wait. See, there's that morally gray thing. Like, I just said sure, and I didn't really know what I was getting myself into.
No, you did not.
Ah, your first victim.
Okay, so would you rather? And this is gonna be D&D based.
Okay.
Would you rather avoid smudges on all character sheets, or your dice never gets lost?
That's tricky because I would have to say smudges. Because you're like trying so hard to fit all of your stats and all the things that happen during each meeting that you have with your friends, right? And then the smudges always like happen in the most important places. Like, what is my perception again? And it's just all smeared and stuff like that. So I would love to have it where I just have access and can read everything I've written down. Because dice, I've never had luck yet. I haven't found the golden grail of dice yet. My dice, every single time, they seem to really purposely try to screw me over. I haven't had, like, luck with my recent dice.
Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody says you can roll it out, but no. I haven't yet to roll it out.
I've been trying to roll it out for 32 years. It ain't working. Sam's playing Fear and Hunger, and there's a coin flip, heads or tails, and he asked me heads or tails. So I said tails 4 times in a row, all wrong. He asked Robert, hasn't been wrong yet.
Wow.
Would you rather have a limb amputated with no anesthetic, or have anesthetic for the limb but watch either insects or rodents eat it away?
Damn.
Just cut my arm off. I don't need the stuff. Just cut the arm off.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'm gonna stop feeling things.
So no anesthetic.
Yeah, an amputation with no anesthetic.
Yeah, just no anesthetic.
Or anesthetic for your limb, but you have to watch little critters eat it away.
Nope. No, I don't want that one. Hard pass.
I think I would actually let the critters.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I would.
You'd help
Because
them. You'd be like, "You're doing a great job."
I was about to say,
Don't
you know,
forget this piece.
they're
It's
hungry.
the tasty one.
They
Don't
have
miss
to
the
eat.
tendon.
They have to eat too. It's just the way nature
Oh, that was my
works.
favorite arm bone. You're
I'm
gonna love
not-
that one.
I'm not feeling anything. So I mean, I would actually watch them because it would my morbid curiosity.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd have phantom pains.
Afterwards,
Ooh,
yeah.
that would be crazy. Can you imagine? And because I chose to not just get it cleaved, it's gonna be like things are eating me.
Yeah, because the nerves and everything would probably be all messed up.
I don't know. I still think I
Oh,
would.
that's what you chose. That's too
I
late
would-
now.
Yeah, it is too late, but I would be
Get
like,
out of here.
it's okay. I know that at least there are a few carrion beetles out there that are alive because of me.
Yeah, they'll remember you.
Yeah, totally.
Leave it to Ral to have the fucking dark, weird one.
Yeah, we went there. You know,
I
I'm
was just
like,
having some D&D fun because I'm playing Baldur's Gate, and he's just like, so you're going to cut your arms off.
and you
Thank you for joining us on Trauma Cupcakes.
exactly. Trauma.
puts you in
Trauma
Ratliker.
Cupcakes.
All right, I guess it's my turn then. Although I have nothing like what Ralliker gave us. I'll start with you, John.
Uh-oh. I'd suck it.
Oh. Okay.
Wow, you knew the question right off.
Would you rather play only single-player games for the rest of your life, or play only multiplayer games for the rest of your life?
Single player. That's easy. That's easy. Yeah, no, I'd rather play single player games. I already do that.
But if there's an option,
So that would mean no playing with us, no playing board games. If you were at the table with a board game, you'd be playing by yourself.
just with yourself.
You'd be playing tennis by yourself.
Oh wow, you're gonna
You'd
take
be
it.
playing all these games by yourself. You'd be a very sad individual.
Well, okay, I guess if you're going to be really specific about it, like, so I couldn't play games how I currently play, like, which is to play a single player game and then, like, talk to somebody while playing it. Does that count as playing with somebody else?
No. That would work.
Well, I'd say that's what I currently do more than anything else. I don't know where you're getting this tennis thing from. I'm not.
I'm just saying, like,
Oh,
like
damn.
sport games.
Look at you now, John. You're not gonna be able to play tennis anymore.
No,
Yeah.
I did. Whew, man,
Sorry to burst your bubble.
Yeah, you know, everyone loves playing tennis with me, so it's gonna be a real hard thing to give up. But I think I can do it.
Ralliker, would you rather have to play games within the last 5 years for the rest of your life, or games for the next 5 years, like in the future? You have no idea what's coming out, but the games in 5 years from now for the rest of your life. What would you choose?
So the past 5 years, which have been pretty sad, or the next 5 years, which we don't know, it could be potentially good.
Or it could be Diablo.
I'll pick the next 5 years. Because at least it's leading closer to the rest of my life than what I've already experienced.
Maybe you'll be too old to realize whether it's good or not.
And then, yeah, when I'm past that 5-year point, I'll be just like, old games. I'll just be belly aching.
I completely disagree with Ralliker's, like, playing 5 years in the future versus 5 years in the past. The last 5 years of games have been absolute bangers. Because, I mean, we've had God of War Ragnarok.
I hated that one.
Well, right. Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
I haven't played that.
Exactly. It's you just Kirby in the Forgotten
I don't
Land.
know. Nothing has really hit that sweet spot in games for the last 5
Elden
years.
Ring.
I've been hitting most of the early access indie type
Stardew
games.
Valley?
Yeah, Stardew Valley, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, It Takes Two, even Half-Life Alyx. That came out in 2020. 80s. The thing is, like, and people don't, people listening don't know you
Yeah.
like we do. Your taste in games are weird.
Thank you.
Not weird negatively, but they're different compared to a lot of people what they would consider mainstream games. You don't play a lot of mainstream games. I don't even think you really like mainstream games.
Ralliker,
You like
yeah.
weirder, just games that you're like, what the hell is that? And then you look at it, you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. How did you find that?
Yeah.
Well, I think looking at our timer here, I think we're pretty much out of time. So thank you everybody for listening, and we will be back with a new episode next week.
Bye.
Bye.